Let's see. Let's see. Hello, hello. Are we live yet on YouTube?
We sure are.
Are we live? We're live. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you and welcome to Terribly Live today. We got a special guest in store for you. Before I introduce everybody, I'm going to tell you that you should get live chat pulled out and not top chat. And I'm going to pull up chat here in just a minute so I can say hello to all of you great people. But before I do that, I'm going to let Drake introduce himself, and then we're going to turn it around the room and let everybody introduce himself real quick. So go ahead, Drake.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Cheers. Thank you for tuning in, be it now or later. We appreciate all you and your support. Please like, share, subscribe, get the word out. You know how it is in this industry. We all work off each other. But yeah, I'm just glad to be here this morning, trimming away. Got some pheno hunting of some lavender honey banana going on. Yeah, you can catch me at Drake KO4 at Instagram. And yeah, we're thrilled to bring a few new guests in for you. And we've got Tardis, our good buddy here. So Tardis, we'll let you lead next. Who are you? How do we find you? And then we can lead into who we're featuring today.
Hey, I'm TARDIS808 on Instagram. You can also follow me at Groundbreaking Seed Group on Instagram. That's my partner's thing. I also have a beautiful plant here to trim. This is a time wreck cross to Chernobyl, done by Budog Hawaii. But anyway, I'm TARDIS. I like weed.
Right on.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks, Tardis. Thanks, Drake. And Tardis is going to be introducing, or actually has introduced us to the next guest, who is Canna Crew. And I'm going to let him kind of give you guys a little bit of information on what he does. So welcome, Canna Crew.
Oh, yo, my name's Frankie. I do Canna Crew. It's kind of our community, online and global and whatnot, where smokers, some growers, some glass blowers, all the different kinds of things. We do a lot of different stuff, but mostly we be smoking.
Right on.
Yeah. All right. So how do people contact you guys and get a hold of you? What's the best way? Instagram?
Sure. I mean, we're everywhere. Instagram, X, TikTok. We got a YouTube, all that. It's all Canna Crew everywhere. On TikTok.
Okay, so just so everybody knows, it's Canna Crew with a K. Canna Crew with a K, not a C. I was looking for a C earlier.
Canna and Crew. Yes.
Canna and Crew.
Kickback is coming.
And we are here to talk about the Canna Kickback. What is that?
The Canna Kickback's an annual event we do. It's the fifth one. And this is the third time we've done it for a charity. We do it for the Sojourner Center. It's a kind of like a big kickback, like its name implies, and a toy drive as well. So it's the third year we've done the toy drive, and we tend to raise too many toys for the charity, so we're going to keep doing that, and it's this Saturday. So,
oh, that's great.
Wonderful.
That is awesome.
I think
that is Saturday the 7th. At what time?
4:20. Saturday the 7th at 4:20 in Phoenix, 24th Street in Van Buren. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna have a bunch of games and stuff to play. We've got a Special K ring toss. We've got this place where you can decorate the chill bongs.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we'll have where you can craft on them, design them up, and we'll seal them.
Okay, what is a chill bong? What? School me. What is this?
Oh.
Yeah, what is that?
Oh, so the same guy who designed like the generic version of the hydro flask for Walmart designed this bong. May he rest in peace. He's a great dude. And they sell these bongs. They're pretty awesome. They unscrew. They're ceramic on the inside and steel on the outside. They work just like a hydro flask. They work just like a hydro flask, and they keep like your ice forever.
Okay, that's really cool because I really like to hit like colder. Like I love my water colder when I hit, and all of that. It just really helps cool down the smoke really quick, right? Yeah, I can see how that's really would help. That's cool. Do they make dab bricks too? Do they make like a dab brick?
No, I think they just make this.
Okay, that's cool though.
And then they have like different color and style variations, but not like this is the thing. So they're not like a recycler type thing you're talking about, or just like a
Yeah,
little.
well, so there's a few things about a dab rig that's super, super important to me. And since I've only dab, I kind of feel like I'm almost a professional dabber, I'd say. So there's a few things that I really, really like. So recycling is really important. And the reason I like recycling, for one, it puts more air in the water, so it keeps the water kind of more refreshed. Your water stays like cleaner, not so stagnant. And then also with it putting the air through there, it helps it cool it off, right? So it's cooling it off. Also, with a smaller rig, you have a smaller amount of like air that's going to get stale in there and nasty. So like you can continue to hit off of a dab versus a bong anyways, right? So we know that. The other thing I really like about rigs, and I really wish Puffco would really think about this, is this bent neck. So we all know when we do CPR, it's super important that you have the neck at a certain angle to be able to do CPR, right? Well, I like my neck at a certain angle to be able to just sit here and breathe naturally rather than like this and trying to have my hairs over everything. And, that it just doesn't work. It's not user friendly. So for an angled dab rig, this is what I like. I also like something big, bulky on the bottom, like something big and tough that's not going to get smacked and broke, right? It's going to be real stable because you put nice things on here, you don't want them to fall off. So just a little tip.
Hey, Frankie, what can you tell us about last year's Can of Kickback?
Last year, we did it in partnership with Arizona Organics, which is Arizona's first dispensary here in Glendale. It's right across the street from the print shop. And it was pretty awesome. We had Tommy Chong and Afro Man. It was a lot of people, a lot of weed.
Nice.
It was a good time. Yeah. It coincided with their 11th anniversary of being a store. So,
well, that's awesome.
That's wicked.
That's really awesome.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
so anyone who missed it.
It started off in the heights of COVID 2020. So it was December 2nd, 2020. I think it was a Wednesday or a Thursday. And we had been building our online community, especially through COVID, because a lot of people were online. Instagram Live just started, and we were on there smoking bowls with everyone. So we had a bunch of people, and everyone was kind of sick of the thing. And in Arizona, we didn't really kind of sort of lockdown kind of deal. Some places closed. Where I was working never closed. But anyways, we were like, let's everyone meet up, Can of Kickback, box truck back of the smoke shop. And we were hanging out in the alley kind of deal. It was a good time. We did karaoke. But so it's been different every time over the years. That was the first one. And the last one, was massive because we had the dispensary at Tommy Chong. I mean, who doesn't turn out for Tommy Chong?
That's true.
This year we're going with a newer venue, newer spot in town, just outside of downtown. And it's going to be dope. It's like a cool little speakeasy, Bud Smoke Lounge.
Very nice. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. And it's a great charity. I mean, helping kids in women's shelters. That's really a great, no one's doing that. And I think you should be commended for that.
Everybody forgets about the kids that move with the women out of the troubled situations, but it's a thing. So
it is. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So, it's going to be a good day. We'll have a piñata filled with all kinds of goodies, only the way the Canna Crew does it. So
very nice.
Very nice. Find out. But that's the gist. We're just, it's like our annual get together.
What inspires you to merge cannabis and charity?
Well, to be honest with you, we tried our hand at some events because we did the first one, and then we did one that was more like flight night. It was you had a bunch of different kinds of weed and you could try them, right? Like a beer flight, but weed.
Yeah.
And that was cool. And people just wanted us to do more stuff. So we did the second Can of Kickback right off of that. And then when it came time to the third one, we're like, you know what? It's not like we're not like turning a big profit on these events. It's not like a money-making scheme or endeavor, right? We're just having a good time. So why don't we just do it all the way and go, and do like a charitable thing? It's a toy drive. We're doing it at Christmas
Absolutely.
time anyways. It's always the first weekend in December. So, we could have fun and help some fools. And then like that we weren't recording then, but like Gilbert was saying, there was someone in the crew that had been personally impacted by the Sojourner Center, and they're like, well, if we're doing that, let's do it for these people because they really helped me.
Excellent.
And so,
That's awesome.
that's what we're doing. Yeah. And
It's
they've
really
been cool.
awesome.
The Sojourner Center's been great the whole time. So it's good.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. And tell me, what does Frankie like to smoke?
My favorite, I like the sativas or the upper kind of ones. Even if it's not sativa, indica, dichotomy, or whatever. But definitely, I got shit to do. So
yeah.
But if I do that too much, then I can't sleep. So I got to have a little balance in there. My favorite strain though that I've ever smoked is Lamb's Breath.
Oh, great strain.
nice.
That was Bob Marley's favorite.
2014. It was a weird place in weed legalization in Arizona, and 2012 to 2014 kind of deal. There weren't real dispensaries, or there was just barely getting them, and so there was a lot of collectives, we'll say. And there was a local guy who was growing this strain, and it was just always fire. But ever since then, I've never been able to find it. So, but lately, I've been smoking almost exclusively smoking some hash rosin.
Oh, that gets expensive.
Without, well,
hash rosin is.
I don't smoke a whole bunch.
No, hash rosin is the best of the best right now. I think everyone will agree that that's the caviar of weed is hash rosin.
Well, don't let me lie to you. Don't get it twisted. I smoke budget hash.
Right? Okay.
So I am a bubble hash fan. People who watch me do know that that's only basically what I smoke. I didn't used to. Now we have access here in Washington. I hope you all have access someday to this because it is amazing. Full spectrum. It's amazing product. Like the difference between bubble hash and I think like BHO or some of those isolates, it's like you get that high and you take off, but it doesn't really go anywhere. Like it just sits there and then it just crashes really quick. And I feel like when you have the full plant and the full spectrum, it's more of just you get there and it's like just stable. Like you're just like, boom, I can knock shit out. I can just get stuff done when you get the right terpenes going, right?
I think everyone can agree with that because I think everyone has seen the situation where they've shifted to just dabbing and they've dabbed for, say, a week or two, and then they turn and smoke flower and it wrecks them because of the entourage effect. Everyone's had that happen to them, I think.
Oh, that was actually where I was going. Like, so when I do smoke flower, it really gets me now because I've been smoking the concentrates for so long. But then I got off our Discord server, canacrew.com/Discord. The homie Amir.
Amir.
His Pavko or his Carter 2, and life's never been the same. So I just want to say I hate you, Amir. No. No, I love you, Amir. Amazing people. But
you got the Carter, I got the Aspire dab. I love the Aspire dab.
I just haven't smoked that one. It reminds me of oh no, you know what? I just hit that the other day. We were doing a Black Friday event at the smoke shop.
Yeah.
We set up passing out flyers for the kickback, and the homie pulled up, bought those dabs, and he was smoking the Aspire. And
nice.
I hit it out of his car window, but
it
was nice.
Love it. Drive-through dab.
Drive-through dab, yeah, exactly. So.
Okay, so I would really recommend everybody go check out the Cannon Crew over on Instagram. That's where they post all their videos. I actually watched a video this morning because I hadn't actually even followed you guys, so I just followed you. And so really cool about the Puffco. Like I didn't know all that was going on. There's like so much
and that affected us.
So much things going on in the world with cannabis, from growing in the garden to now we got electrical devices that are going on, and they're getting
yeah.
like publicly going into courts. We are getting acknowledgement in courts, you guys. So this is really cool. Canacrew did a really cool video about Puffco and their lawsuit and all that. Go ahead. Do you want to tell just a little bit about it? But I would say go watch the video. It was a good video.
So we do a segment every now and then called the Reefer Report, and we don't report on just anything, but it's just about weed related stuff, and we did. And I just want to say too, before I get into it, you plugged Instagram, but I want to plug TikTok. Canacrew TV. It is on TikTok because we've been banned before, and they actually pay us sometimes. So go check us out on TikTok.
That's a good, yeah.
But the Reef Report this time was about there's some legal battle between Puffco, I guess way back in 2020 or something. They did candy pens. They went and they challenged Puffco's patent in court for their device, and then the judge was kind of like, no, that's not going to hold up. So Puffco went around and was like, okay, we'll fuck around, and then they went after candy pens and the Focus V company for the Carta 2, and then the Aura, it's called, for candy pens. And they actually just recently won and got everything's all settled. Took 4 years, but pretty much in the middle of next year, as the way it stands right now, maybe there's appeals or some kind of whatever, they're not going to be able to manufacture or import or sell in the United States. The Carta and candy pens won't be able to sell their units. So like the Carta 2, might become a thing of the past type deal. And unless they win some other legal battle, but they tried to do some counter thing or defense and they got shot down. And so that's where it's at. Like Puffco is where it's at right now. They're going to be the king of the market, right, for a while. And if you notice, there's a lot of Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
Okay, so you're saying to me that Puffco has basically the patent for all of this stuff.
Yeah, they call it 334.
So where does the Aspire Dab rigs fit?
The Aspire Dab, it means we might be looking at another era of Aspire Dab austerity like we had seen previously, where we're cherishing our little cups going, don't break, I need you, I have one left.
Now, I think it matters because they were particular in who they went after, right? Like candy pens poked the bear, right? And then they went and said, okay,
didn't really poke the bear.
And we're going to take out.
You shouldn't poke the bear.
But then they brought in their top competition. But you notice they didn't name like Dr. Dabber or the Aspire thing or anything like that in there. They were specific. And so maybe it doesn't infringe on the patent. It could just be the way that the mechanics work.
And if they're smart, maybe they can reach out and just work a simple agreement, like most places, because then once you're on the patent, just pay whatever their fee is if it's reasonable, and now you're good to go.
Yeah.
So
the sad thing is though, like that's cool and all, but like we really got to look at the piece of the pie. We four right here are like the 1%ers of kind of users, I would say, in the typical world of people, right? Because we consume a lot. We consume a lot. I'm going to guess you do, Canacrew. I'm going to guess you consume a lot. I mean, you're a dabber. A lot of people can't even dab, right?
That's true.
It's true.
So when you consider that, we're one piece of the pie, and then all these electronic devices are trying to get this one little 1% of the pie, there's not a lot of room for money to be made. Like how many lawsuits can there be, and how many people can make it through that if they don't have financial backing? And some of these companies don't have financial backing to have representation in the courts. So I don't know, I kind of feel bad for some of these small businesses.
Sure. I mean, it's tough. Legal system's expensive.
Ain't that the truth? That's a good one right there.
I'm going to be honest.
Expensive.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I mean, a lot of people love the Puffco. I know, like, lots of people I know love the Puffco. So I'm saying this against the grain. I don't like how often the chambers break and how expensive they are. I don't like the Puffco because of that.
Okay, so I think we need to take liability for how we use things. I think people don't read the directions and they don't clean things properly.
Read.
So I am not going to complain because I'm
Okay.
going to first, like my Puffco's broken. This is what this is about right now. So I personally know that I leaked water down here, a lot of water into this basin because I was traveling with it. And then I turned it on and it gave me the warning lights. And I didn't pay attention to that. And I turned it back on. And I think I fried it. So I personally think people are like, oh, you dumb thing. I dropped you. Why aren't you working? You know, I mean, I think come on, like, how many times do we expect people to warrantly things when you do something wrong or you fuck it up? I just feel like we need to start taking responsibility in the world for some of that shit.
This is like Nerf. This is like Nerf. You can't break it. You can't fuck. You can't
well, yeah, you can. The damn glass broke all of them, but one.
You can break glass. That's it. That's it.
Actually, no. So actually, no. I broke one, Curtis. Curtis, no. Actually, one of those broke. So down inside here, let me pull this off, and let me pull this off. This one's not broken because it's being used. Let me pull that off and move it over here because I always break the bottoms. But actually, right down in here, this little part right here,
the induction
is
heating
glass.
area. Yeah.
There's glass right there. And I broke one right there. So I dropped this and that actually cracked right there.
The glass.
So I have like a whole nother base that's totally cracked. So what I'm going to do probably that I think is really, I like to take shit apart. And this is probably fried and I'm probably not going to get it. So I'm thinking to take it apart and really see what it looks like on the inside. Why not? Wouldn't that be fun? Take shit apart. Who wants to see what's
live?
On Puffco?
Dissection. The Puffco versus the Aspire dissection.
Dissection. I've never really liked biology, but I don't mind electrical dissecting. Biology sucked. I hated dissecting animals. That was gross. Frogs and pigs. You should never have to do that. That is so traumatizing in school. That's horrible. Anyways.
There's the Canna Kid. Aloha.
Hi, Canna Kid. Hey, let's introduce the Canna Kid. Who's the Canna Kid? What's up?
Canna Kid's the media director for the Canna Crew.
All right, he does a wonderful job with media direction. If you he does smoke a lot. If you guys look at their content on the Instagram for Canna Crew with a K, you're gonna see 2Ks. You're gonna see some amazing work, some really amazing work.
2Ks.
That's right.
It's backwards.
Is it?
Yeah.
So is this the one shirt?
No, actually, it's only backwards to you guys. We see it right. It's your phone. It's okay. We got it.
Yeah, I see it clear.
But we do make a reverse print T-shirt for social media
for the
people.
lives.
For lives.
Nice.
That's awesome. So you guys print T-shirts there? Cool. What else do you do?
Do a little bit of everything.
Hey, Frankie's very knowledgeable of AI.
We operate with this print shop called Print Shop Junkies, and we do like banners and window wraps and flyers, business cards, window tints, like all sorts. If it's print media, we do it basically. And then we got some T-shirt presses, and so we whip out some press T-shirts for like Trapper Dan clothing and everything, and then just like
I can show you some
local businesses and everything that need help.
So let me ask you, if I ever get the funding, would you guys be able to make me a T-shirt based on some strains I bred?
Of course.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We
also do like digital design work and stuff, and like we made the graphicking for this, and just
hold it back up there. Hold it back up there because now I have a pin. This show is going to be about you guys for the rest of the bit, so show off all your shit. Let's do it. This
is some of the graphics that we made for the Canna Kickback 5.
Nice.
And the biggest thing is like I was talking about, it's like we're a big cannabis social club, and one of the big things about us is a lot of our members have these different trade skills that they have and talents, and so the biggest thing is we all kind of congregate together because we're all kind of small businesses in our own rights, and we just kind of help each other out. Like the one dude does embroidering, TARDIS is pretty good with the green thumb. Uh Frankie is a computer whiz. Like I got drones and 360 cameras and microphones and stuff, and we set up podcasts for people. And the one of the homies is in like construction kind of stuff, and so he can like manufacture stuff. And then another homie, he's like in electrical stuff, and like he comes to the events and helps us set up all the electrical work kind of deal. So again,
Team effort.
it's like this amalgamation of people, and then sometimes we have these skills that can benefit an individual in the group, and we more specifically network people together so they could find the right people or the right tools to do the things that they need to do. And that's like the number one objective of the Cannon Crew. Like we don't we don't like profit off anybody or like do a third party charge or anything crazy like that, or try to like buy products from these companies and then flip them ourselves in our own shops kind of deal. We're just like, hey, like these are the people that we met. They're really cool. We think you guys will like them too. Next
Mm-hmm.
thing you know, Bong Blazer is a collector of special K bongs, and we're Chill Pipe is sending us bongs to decorate for the holidays because they're just really cool guys. We've been messing with them for a while, and then like, and the list kind of goes on in the sense that like all these cool companies and or people that we've networked with, and we just network them directly to the community, because we're also kind of seeing we're kind of seeing the death of the third party distributor, or like the middleman, if you will. And so we're just trying to get the people directly to the manufacturer, directly to the artist, directly to the
Well,
person
I love
that's
how you
actually
said that.
in the
Yeah.
garage.
I love how you said the directly to the person, because people that aren't in business don't really understand. There's like not a lot of room right now to be made on some of these products. So to be able to give you the best price, you've got to cut out that middleman to be able to get you the best price for people, right? And so
Yeah.
it's also for small businesses not to have to work and pay so many taxes between there as well.
And I'll say one thing I'll point out real quick, and this is just like an observation that I've made throughout my like experience within the industry and everything, is I used to work a lot of customer service for a glass manufacturer. And the most important thing that I was noticing is the customer, uh, they need to feel as though they can communicate with somebody and they know the name of that person, and they know it's a real authentic person, that even though there's this conglomerate, I can call Tommy, and or every time I do a direct message, Tommy answers me every time, and I get that sense of I know who this person is. And that's like extraordinarily important, and especially with people like us in the cannabis industry, and kind of like a little play on how we used to, people used to be narcs and stuff, and you, you'd have to actually like know the person before you got your bag of weed from them. And then there had to be like some sort of like camaraderie or bond or trust established before you even talked about business kind of deal. And so like it kind of translates for us now that like these things are legalizing, and then we have these like companies that are within our industry now. We still have that kind of like mental mentality of like knowing and having that security of like being aware of like, all right, this is a trustworthy person or company, or I feel as though I can specifically talk to this specific person and not feel as though I'm not, just another number or client kind of deal. So, random tangent. Sorry. But that's kind of the Canna Crew. We try to, avoid all that.
Tangents. We're all about them.
We're
That's
about
right.
So are we.
It's real. You think I'm kidding?
we get lit and it gets scattergun effect.
That means the weed is working.
Right. Oh, it's working.
But yeah, now the whole concept is just the whole like community thing, getting people associated with the right people, and then just getting the sensation that you know who you're communicating with.
Yep.
Synergy.
Right.
Making everyone stronger just by being a piece, It's really great. Like for example, I know I know that Greg from the Canna Crew really helped me out with selling my house when I needed to.
Yeah.
That's
He was really there for me.
Yeah,
that's even a little layer deeper,
right.
there.
Yeah.
That's that L2.
Yeah.
Because then again,
There's a lot of
we have
background in
this
real estate.
we have this NFT community, and it's called the OG Skunks, and that's more of like our private community. Like you put your skin in the game, and it's kind of like officially official. And a lot of us network privately together. We have a secret smoke sesh that we have once a month, and we all go there, shoot the shit.
Nice.
Sometimes we come back from trade shows and we pass out gifts. Sometimes the plug feels a little generous and everybody leaves a little bit extra happier that night. It's just, it's very much of our
It's a great group of
barbecue
guys.
in the backyard kind of mentality.
And girls.
That's
Can
right.
we say more of? Can we say more of the medical communities coming back?
Yeah, most definitely.
And it's kind of like that little like niche group kind of thing. And and we're all, and another thing, just as that's concerned, is you definitely because as you were talking about earlier, how like we're the kind of 1%er of smokers, right? Even as you get into the 1%ers, we even break apart into our little niche groups ourselves, like Bong Blazer only smokes out of bongs, and Undertoker, he only does the hash rosin, and Mason, if you put BHO in your rig, he will taste it. There's no
Later,
going
yes.
about it. And then you got people like me, as long as it has a THC content in it, it's getting sparked. So like we have all these vast
And that's what's so cool about the diversity that we have. Our diversity within the cannabis community also drives our openness, right? The more diversified, the more open we can be with different people and different complex abilities and different things. Also, open with the of science, open with science even catching up to this plant, catching up to us as people.
Yeah, I'd have to say, the science, we have science on a cannabis plant that dates back thousands of years type deal. And it's like we've been suffering from the not like ignorance of the knowledge, but the
prohibition is really
almost like the communities disagrees with the answers that they've been given throughout humanity, and then they're trying so hard to create tests in sciences to make the answers that they want kind of deal. And that's, I think, the real issue that we're dealing with, right? Because like as it's concerned, we just within the horticulture aspect of it, we've traced back the cannabis plant to like 8,000 years, and found out that when it was originally on the planet, it wasn't even psychoactive until it did its genetic break from the hops plant which is what we use to make alcohol and spirits out of, and that has been science that, farmers have been using since agriculture kind of deal. The whole
That's right.
harvest
So,
harvest on the full moon kind of stuff, and the farmer's almanac kind of information. And mainstream science has been, at least as far as I'm concerned, since the roughly the end of World War II, they've been proactively with the industrial military complex and like the science that has been manifesting out of that. They've been proactively uh, trying to narrate answers through the new sciences that they've been discovering and trying to implement. So it's kind of a it's kind of a hairy pickle, as one would say. But
Certainly is.
I don't
so
know
I
because
like so I like that you were talking about hops. So we grow a lot of hops where I live, in the Grant County, Yakima Valley area. Um, it, do you know if hops are also? Do they also like just make terpenes out of the hops, and then do they just use them for perfumes and stuff? I'm kind of
There's like
curious about
well
that
over
now. I didn't even know
300,
about that.
like well
as
over
I
300
as I
identified
was
terps.
always oh sorry, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. No, you're
Right.
totally good.
As I was always educated, terpenes, it is a characteristic of every plant, right? And then it's almost like a essential essence, if you will, that you extract. So you could potentially extract terpene from, lavender, or that's how we get like our citrus scents. And so
Mhm.
I would presume that they would be able to I think they do exactly that, is extract the terpenes from the hops to create the more concentrated perfumes.
Yeah,
Mm.
there's well over 300 identified terpenes found in hops, from my understanding, and it's also, from my understanding, encompassed within the cannabis genome. So one would presume, even though we've only identified so many with the Tarrant testing that's been used and so on and so forth, that there is a very large plethora of terpenes and BOCs and so on and so forth that we still don't know about within cannabis that are very important and prominent reasons for the crazy effect differences in cultivars that have very similar testing.
Right. And it's not completely outrageous, for especially because of the sciences and how like gated off, cannabis is in the research. It's not like hops and cannabis are really similar genetically, and it's not completely outrageous, to like do studies on hops in comparison to relative stuff for cannabis plants to get like a roundhouse idea of presumably what could possibly happen with the cannabis plant until the sciences properly open up for us to study.
Are we
Yeah,
dabbing?
arrow in the quiver.
But also, like open, like I don't know. I don't think everything's going to be open source either, right? Like people keep a gate key and a lock on all of that stuff.
Well, yeah,
So
always. That's how everything dictated, right? The
yeah.
information is made, and then you control the flow of the information. Like, so, for example, back to my history stuff, back in the day, everything was printed, and they had a printing press, and in places in Spain and various things like that had this stuff on lock, where you had these massive presses that was distributing all of the literature that was being distributed globally. But on top of that, you had uh, the person that actually worked the printer's press, I believe, is referred to as the devil's apprentice for some reason, right? But the big thing is this person had all of the information before the information was distributed, because he's the one that's literally writing it down and distributing that information. So he's is the first person with that information. So because he has that power, he instantly is able to gate that information. He's held in the higher standard within that town, because he knows all of the news before the newspaper passes it out to everybody, because he printed it on the newspaper kind of deal. And so that's where it comes back to, yeah, it's going to be really hard with these sciences, and especially because you come to find out, like, during the 40s, during the 50s, during the 30s, when they were doing these psyop experiments and various things like that, and really getting these massive military fundings to go in and find out what these chemicals and things do, all that was private information, and we're only getting distributed scientific findings that they discovered in the 40s and 50s now, right? And so it's not too hard to presume that they've already figured out the sciences, right? And then they're just uh, giving us the information as it no longer benefits them, kind of deal. So that's all.
We need more studies.
And then I guess it's always the Schrodinger's box concept, where
Well,
it's like,
so right. I comment on that. So they don't release those. And here's an example of until it's beneficial. And what right now is beneficial, but the THC account, the amount of THC that's in everything. So the higher the THC, the more they're going to sell. That's literally what we're seeing across the market. And so just bringing that history back in, that just kind of concludes all those things and patterns that I recognize. I really appreciate this conversation this morning.
yeah, of course.
So do you think now, so then who's to blame there though, right? Is it the people that are doing the studies and making the stuff, or is it the consumer that only wants THC content? Because like you said, we're 1%
That's a good point.
consumer that's even thinking about it.
I mean,
So 99% of
Well,
consumers
let's not say that it's like it's not someone's fault. Like let's recognize that like blame, fault, victimization, all of that is all. I'm just saying like we need to change. I just need to say we need to change that vocabulary, and all the vocabulary just needs to be is that they're just uneducated. Like just
exactly
this week, and how you educate people is one person at a time, because you when people get to know you, they believe you, they understand you. And it's super important that when you have a people that really believe in you, that you really try to put that truth out there. And people recognize people that want to just put the truth out there, and they recognize people that are just spewing shit. I think people are really getting good at recognizing bullshit these days. And so I think it's coming down to, like you guys are saying, get to know one another, create these little groups, create these communities that work with one another, and they build these mycelium webs amongst one in the community, because you can trust one another, right? And it starts to weed out the ones that you can't trust. And I think it's great what you guys are doing. Super happy to have had you guys on today. Super proud to know you guys. I look forward to hopefully we can do some more stuff in the future. We've been on for almost an hour. Do you want to go ahead and give us any final thoughts? Is there any things that you'd like to go over again? Let's talk about what you guys came on here for again. One more time. What did you come on here for? Go ahead.
Can I kick back 5?
Frankie, take over.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, Can Kickback 5 this Saturday. If you're in Arizona, come through. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram.
It's gonna be a great event. It's for a great cause.
And, join the crew. If you really like us, get a skunk.
Yeah.
Get a skunk. So I do want to have these guys back on, and I do want to talk about the skunk program that they have on. But it was super important to get this information out for this weekend. So everybody, please go share this video. Please go over and follow them right now, right after this live. Please do your cannabis advocacy. Cannabis advocacy is done in several different ways, several different forms. And one way you can do it today, which is free, is just go follow everybody that is trying to get a good message out there, because numbers help. Numbers help create change, and we all know this. So thanks again, guys, for being on here. Any final words, anybody? Go ahead. Any final words?
I ain't got nothing. We got it. What do we
Stay lifted.
Oh, yeah.
Stay gifted.
All right. right. Thanks, guys. Drake, any final words for you today, Drake?
Thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure to hear you guys chat and get into your heads a little bit and see what's going on. I wish I could get down to that event, but I'm excited to live vicariously through everyone who does. So yeah, check it out. Make sure like, share, subscribe. Everyone that's involved here. Have a blessed day. Much love, and we'll catch you next time. Tara, to you.
All right, TARDIS, any final words for you today?
I just want to say do as much good as possible and feel as good as possible at the same time.
Beautiful.
Do good
I
and
love
feel
it.
good.
And thanks everybody for tuning in chat. I saw Sammy Sizz out there. I see CBC out there. We had Hazard Smurf stop by. I really appreciate you guys. You also have been leaving comments after the videos. I love when you guys all comment and talk to one another after the videos. It's great to have you guys all here and building this community. So thanks again. Have a beautiful day. And I'm going to end the stream for everybody, but we can hang out here live. So just a